hello again, and welcome to Roland's Reviews. We are definitely back and wanted to discuss this topic. Oh, the irony, oh, the hypocrisy. Um, do me one small favor, folks, as you enter the chat room. Do me one small favor, if you will. Please hit the little thumb. That is the like button. That tells YouTube that you are most assuredly enjoying this content. And guess what? We may trigger the YouTube algorithm and bring more people into the conversation. I will wait for more people to join us. And I hate when I get started and people say, oh no, I missed the very beginning. And they feel like they're trying to play catch up the entire video. So let me get rid of that. Okay. So anyway, I don't know how many of you are familiar with this subject matter. So I will, of course, bring you up to speed on why this is so vitally significant. And again, it just continues to expose the hypocrisy of the loonies. Okay. And again, the ones who are always pointing their fingers, they're racist, they're racist, and you're racist. If you just listen to what they say, you see who the real racists are. And I just think the irony is striking. How you doing, Tina? And so I'll go ahead and get started. Um, if you are familiar with this situation, just say yes. If not, again, I will bring you up to speed. I have some links to share with you as well as some videos as usual. Okay. Um, so where are we here? Okay, I will go ahead and do the roll call. If you would like for me to call your name, all you need to do is to say hello or send an emoji. If not, I cannot tell who is here. All right, Florida and Tina, okay, who helped me keep this channel going. Of course, they are here. How are you doing, loves? And Baldwin Birds, of course, is here. Chris, how are you? Mare is here. If you will, folks, as well, share this stream out on your various forms of social media. I had one of you to send me a comment asking me if I was on Truth Social. I've tried 3 or 4 times. Every time I try to join it, it just doesn't go through. So I have been trying. I have spoken with some other people that said they also had some issues, but no, I am not on Truth Social, but it's not that I don't want to be. I have tried. So there. All right. So, is anyone familiar with this subject matter that we're going to discuss today? If you are, type yes. If not, just say, well, no. Okay. And again, I wanted to discuss this subject matter because a lot of people aren't familiar with it. And Tina, you're not, okay? And I know everyone wants to talk about, what's trending in the news. And lots of times I'll talk about, okay, Chris, you're not, okay. Sometimes I'll talk about a topic. And of course, then one of the larger channels does it, it just goes all over the place. I'm one of the smaller channels, so it does not. But oh well, I will still disseminate the information to you. All right. Let's look at the title. Racist liberals outraged over Marva Johnson election as president of FAMU. Firestorm ignited. And firestorm incoming. Let me explain what is going on here. For those that do not know, FAMU is a historically Black university. Okay. Let me pull up their stats for you. Hold on. And The issue is they don't like who was chosen. And I'm going to tell you why. Okay. So let me pull this up for you. It's all over the internet. And let me show you. Of course, they are in Tallahassee. Let me show you. I'll share that with you first. Give you a little background information. They are a land grant agricultural and mechanical university. For those that know their history, of course, due to Jim Crow as well as discrimination, uh, Black American students could not attend predominantly white institutions, so the HBCUs were created, private as well as public. How you doing, Beverly? Diane, how are you? Chris? And so FAMU was created. And let me show you. All right, yeah, and they were created, and their mascot is the rattler, and their colors are green and orange. They have approximately a little over 10,000 students. Let me see, where are we here? And they were established 1887. Okay, and the issue is the Democrats are upset because of who was chosen. Now, did I put it in the title? Let me see. No. So they're calling her MAGA Marva Johnson. That's what they're calling her. And before I get into the video, let me show you. And this is, again, I was just like, really? Let me show you what's going on here. All right. And again, you'll start to see it on some of the larger channels when they get around to covering it. Happy Sunday to you, Diane. Backlash grows over FAMU president selection. Okay. And now Florida A&M is a flagship HBCU there in Florida. Okay. They're one of the leading public HBCUs. They faces backlash after announcing Marva Johnson as its new president-elect. Now we're going to get to why everyone's so upset. You'll hear it in the reading. The decision has sparked strong reactions from alumni, students, and faculty. Many say the process lacked transparency and that Johnson's political ties raise serious concerns. Don't forget the political ties. Why this decision is controversial. Marva Johnson is a telecommunications executive with a background in public policy. She has served on the Florida State Board of Education and was appointed by, operative word, Republican governors, including Ron DeSantis. Critics say her close political connections are troubling, especially given recent state policies that impact HBCUs and limit educational diversity efforts. What makes her selection more controversial is her lack of experience. Now, this is what they're saying, but I'm going to get to the crux of the matter. How you doing, Laurie, Lanita? So these are the excuses that they are making. So it says here, Johnson has never served as a college president or in a senior academic role. Many in the FAMU community believe the university needs someone with a proven track record in educational administration. So they're saying that the process was flawed. Hit the like button for me, please, folks, as we continue. Concerns over the selection process have added fuel to the fire. According to reports, Johnson was added to the list of finalists late in the process. Some board members questioned how that happened and whether the outcome was predetermined. This lack of transparency has led many to believe that outside political pressure influenced the decision. Critics argue that such interference risks FAMU's mission and independence, which they're not all that independent because they still get money from the state and the federal government. So there you go. Alumni and student reactions. The backlash from the FAMU community has been swift and vocal. A petition titled FAMU Deserves Better has gained thousands of signatures. Alumni, including notable figures like film producer Will Packer, have used social media to express their frustration. How you doing, Shadow Seeker? At campus meetings and online forums, students and faculty are demanding answers. Many say they feel excluded from a decision that affects the future of the HBCU. Some have called for the board to reconsider its choice. What this means for HBCU. So I'm getting to the point, folks. Just stick with me. This controversy highlights a larger issue facing public HBCUs. As state-funded institutions, they must navigate political landscapes while staying true to their mission. Leadership choices influenced by politics can damage trust and morale within the university. Strong independent leadership is crucial for HBCUs to survive. Many fear that Johnson's appointment could set a dangerous precedent. Okay. Now, again, I'm getting to the point, but you need to hear what they're saying. It raises questions about how much control state leaders should have over HBCU governance. So here's a woman here. This is Marva Johnson. So this is who they're speaking about. How you doing, Shadow Seeker? Beverly, Diane, Lanita, Laurie, share this on your social media pages, please, folks. Thank you so much. All right. So she's the 13th president-elect in the history of FAMU. So yeah, so this is the lady that all the furor is over. The path forward. As Marva Johnson prepares to take office, FAMU faces a critical moment. The university's reputation and community trust are on the line, and alumni, students, and faculty are likely to continue voicing their concerns. Now, again, if you're just joining the chat, how you doing, Cali State? How you doing, Caesar? They're calling her MAGA Marva. So you know where I'm going with this. Whether Johnson can win over the FAMU community remains to be seen. What is clear is that HBCUs like FAMU must protect their legacy through transparent leadership and strong public engagement. Someone type in the comment section, why do you think these people really don't want her there? I'll wait. You really don't need me to tell you, but you see what the problem is. I just told you the nickname that they have given her. As you can see, she's Black, right? So you think they'd be happy? No, 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 no. Yes, Tina, she's a Trump supporter. At an HBCU, they're calling her a plant that was placed in that position to try and destroy FAMU. So they're saying this is a trend. All right, so let me go back. I'm not done. So they're saying this is a conspiracy. You know, the Republicans are trying to destroy HBCUs. And again, she's a Trump supporter. So, Tina, yes. Bingo. You hit the nail on the head. Let me share a video with you. So they are just talking. I mean, oh my God. They're saying this is a hostile takeover. They're saying they're faulting Ron DeSantis. And then there was another HBCU in Missouri recently that went through something similar. So they're like, this is a trend. They're taking over the HBCUs. All right. So I'll share this with you. Shadow Seeker, probably the best decision. Harvard should follow suit. Yes. Caesar, she's going to hold them accountable for their wasteful foolishness. You know where we're going with this. So, they're thinking about Doge. They're thinking they may be, concerned. People may be, start really meticulously going over those books. I can't tell you how many HBCUs have shut down. Now, I'm a product of an HBCU, North Carolina A&T State University in Greensboro, North Carolina. Now, I can't tell you how many HBCUs have shuttered their doors due to poor financial management. So they're saying this is a hostile takeover, right? Tell me what your thoughts are. So we know the loonies don't want accountability. So let's start here.
Welcome home, everybody. This is They Are Tiffany Cross and Angela Wright. I'm Andrew Killam.
Now, you're familiar with Tiffany Cross, Angela Rye. We know which side of the gate they're on. Tina, yes, they have. And so we're going to listen to this. If we can, we'll stomach as much as we can. How you doing, Cali State? Cali, share this on your Facebook page, love. Thank you. Here we go.
You're tuned into this week's mini pod. And I wanted to talk about, we didn't get to talk about it in the general show, but my experience right now in Florida, and as a graduate of FAMU, really brought this to the top of the radar for me. And I know that it's a story similar to many other HBCUs around the country. And that is FAMU right now is in the hunt for a new permanent president. That process has been open for a while.
So this was the video before she was actually selected. How you doing, Chris? All right. MAGA attempts. Let's look at the title of MAGA attempts. So they're blaming this on MAGA attempts hostile takeover. So you see how they're terming it.
File received candidate applications for it, and they've been shortlisted. And there's been lots said about the behind the scenes process that has been undertaken by maybe certain members of the Board of Trustees to produce a certain outcome. In Florida, all conversations about votes, about presidential searches, they're in public. They're public records. The deliberations, they're supposed to be done publicly. And so we always find it strange when you start hearing rumors of, hey, that person's already got 8 votes. The other candidates, they're in there, but there's not a chance because we've already picked the one. And it seems that there may be some of that shenanigan playing in this case.
So they're crying foul. They're saying that there's some shenanigans, some nefarious activities at play in the selection of MAGA Marva. That's the term they gave her because she is a Trump supporter. So we know what this is all about, folks. This man is an embarrassment and definitely not credible. Yes, Caesar, Angela Rye, and Tiffany Cross, they're all going to talk about this. So yeah, but we know their track record.
And I wanted to broaden it out. Yes, we can talk specifically about FAMU. I know I'm happy to, but the truth is nationally, we have seen under Republican governors across the country in many states, if they hadn't already had processes where boards of trustees or governing boards of an institution are appointed by the governor. Sometimes.
Now, again, if these were Democratic governors, we would not be having this conversation. So this is all because she was appointed by DeSantis, a Republican, and she supports Trump. That, in a nutshell, folks, that's the issue. Hit that like button for me. Share this out on your social media pages. Thank you so much. I'd like to bring more people into the conversation because a lot of people are not aware of this. Oh, there's breaking news. Biden was just diagnosed with prostate cancer. Okay. That alert just came through on my phone, folks. Anthony Rowland's putting out a lot of content. Yes, Anthony. And yes, Tina, it's ridiculous. Like, we can't see through what they're doing. Now, I also have her bio, her resume pulled up. So I have videos to share with you. And then I'm going to show you everything that she's done. Then I'm also going to share with you some of, right here in my state, North Carolina, HBCUs that were on the verge of shuttering due to poor financial management. And again, if she were a Democrat, nothing would be said. Type in the comment section what you think about this. How you doing, Mom23? Mom23. They will never admit to that, even though we know now there's a secret audio. Mom23, yes, they'll tell us about his prostate cancer. They won't tell us about the dementia. Right, and the loss of cognitive ability. Exactly. How you doing, Tube State? Hit the like button, folks. Oh, I'd love to bring 1,000 people in here today. Just to show and expose the hypocrisy as well as the lies of the left. This is all political, folks, because of who she supports. Thank you, Mom23. So let's listen to this. And again, I'm going to show you all of her information. And this is all politically driven. Yeah, Mayor, he's got enough problems, and now he has prostate cancer. All right, here we go.
Times boards of education and whatnot, but the end result is that it leads to a greater politicization of the education system, where you basically get the friends of the governor or friends of people in power who end up getting named, whether or not these people are graduates of an institution, whether they have previously been supporters of said institution, whether they believe HBCUs should exist at all. And in some cases, just as we have Betsy DeVos at the Department of Education in Washington, D.C., someone who does not believe in the...
well, she's not there anymore, but we had her there.
The point being, the point I'm trying to make, and I appreciate the correction, is that the politicization, you're putting foxes over hen houses.
Yeah. Linda McMahon is there now, and she literally is there to abolish the Department of
body
Education.
slam it.
You are absolutely right.
Which it needs to be. Caesar, real men have absolutely zero respect for this drug head lady. Okay, Caesar. Greetings from San Francisco. All right, Tube State. Did you see the dancing foolish behavior that recently took place? Yes, Caesar. That's all over. It went viral. Yes, I sure did. So listen to the words very meticulously what they're saying. Let me put the closed captioning on just for those. If you like me, you like to read and hear it. Here we go.
Use the Betsy example because she's a big funder of charters, right? Her family, her philanthropic giving, all the things that she funds in her family were toward charter schools and basically taking public money and putting it into private.
As she should. If I were in the same position, I would too. That's where my money would go. Wouldn't be going to public schools. It would be going to charter schools. Chris Biden was so out of it. I think someone else was pulling the string. Chris, I've said several times on my channel that Obama had 3 terms. Biden, when he was coherent, would say a few words, but he was not running anything. That's why Obama was still in Washington. So Obama had 12 years. So you're absolutely right.
Institutions, right? But they're putting these positions over the same institutions they're supposed to be shepherding, making sure are well-resourced. They're really in there to do a hatchet job. And as Tiffany just pointed out, the current Secretary McMahon, is it McMahon, Linda?
Linda McMahon. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, is similarly in the position to destroy the Department of Education, to fake
as it needs to be destroyed. Diane, I'm pleased people like you and I went to school and received a good education, did not deal with this anarchy. I did not go to college, but I went to secretarial school. That's fine. That's like community college, Diane. And I know a lot of very intelligent people that have not stepped foot on a college campus. And it's just so sad, Diane. A lot of people, once they get all these degrees, they think they know everything. They turn into the elites, right? That's right, Mom23. Mom23 knows what was going on. We know Obama was pulling the strings. That's why he didn't leave Washington. So let me show you. Let me show you the lady they're talking about. Let me show you her bio, because I know it's hard for you to listen to that crapola. So let me give you a break. Oh my God. And I shared, you know how I do. I shared all the links in the description box up under my video. So here's just a short one-page bio. I also have her resume pulled up. So this is, they call her Marva Johnson, distinguished leader in both the telecommunications industry and public education policy. So this right here, they're giving you all these lame excuses for why she's not qualified, right? Let's continue to read her bio. She currently serves as Group Vice President of State Government Affairs for Charter Communications, where she oversees state government affairs, regulatory, local franchising, state legislative matters, strategic partnerships, and strategies for government and community initiatives across 9 southern states, including Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, Maryland, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Virginia. Her work focuses on expanding broadband access, particularly in underserved communities. And that's an education initiative, folks, for the people that don't know. Ever since the pandemic, that's been an initiative. How you doing, Isaiah? How you doing, Chubbs? Thank you for your service, sir. So beyond her professional roles, Johnson is deeply committed to community service. Everything that I just read, that's what universities do anyway. So I told you why they're making a big deal about this, because she was appointed. Ron DeSantis, they're saying this is a hostile takeover and they're trying to destroy the HBCUs. And she's a Trump supporter. We know what this is about, folks. We're not stupid. Okay, so where are we? Yeah, she served on the board. Several organizations focused on providing educational opportunities to youth, including the Florida Virtual School. She's currently the chair of the board of trustees for the Pace Center for Girls. So she's been working in education. So they're just making excuses because they don't want to admit their own racism. Caesar, thank you for your super chat, love. I appreciate you too, Caesar, and I just sent some hearts in the chat section for you, love. Thank you so much. Tina, she's more than qualified. America needs more of that. Our children's education in America is embarrassing. Yes, the mom to 3. I warned my daughter when she went to college not to let them brainwash her from her morals and integrity. Thankfully, she didn't. She's a teacher like you and me, Roland. Yay! All right. Thank you for that, mom to 3. All right. So again, we see the smoke screen, folks. We know what this is about. We're not stupid. So yeah, she's qualified. And anyway, yeah, her commitment to mentorship and leadership development is further demonstrated through her involvement with WICT, formerly Women in Cable Telecommunications. So look at this. So she's been working in education. Johnson's passion for education is evident in her public service career. Appointed to the Florida State Board of Education in 2014, she was elected chair in 2015 and served in that capacity for 4 years. During her tenure, she championed policies aimed at improving educational outcomes for all students. She played a vital role in implementing performance-based funding measures to encourage state colleges to improve student success metrics, including graduation rates. Let me highlight that. I want you to read that for yourself. So again, accountability. Someone said it in the chat earlier. We know Doge has the loonies running scared. She's going to require some accountability. And that's not what they want. So, but they're hiding behind their own racism. No, it's because, no, we know what it is. She's a Trump supporter, and she will require accountability. Yes. Johnson also holds the distinction of having served as a member of Florida's 2018 Constitution Revision Commission, where she chaired the Education Committee. So they keep saying, oh, she's not qualified. She's not qualified. That's why I'm reading this to you. Her leadership in education reform has consistently focused on creating pathways to education excellence for students of all backgrounds. Ms. Johnson has received many accolades, including Cable Facts the magazine's MSO Executive to Watch, and Top Women in Tech. Ms. Johnson has been recognized numerous times as a member of Cablefax's most influential minorities and most powerful women in cable. She has also been recognized by Florida Trend as one of the top 100 most influential people in Florida politics. So again, how you doing, Merch Pack? We know what this is about. Hit the like button for me, folks. Also, share this out on your various social media pages. I appreciate that. Ms. Johnson earned a Juris Doctorate from the Georgia State University College of Law, a Master of Business Administration from Emory's University, Gotzel's Business School, and a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration from Georgetown University. A proud member of the AKA Skiwi sorority. So she's sorority sisters with, remember, the Curry Queen is in the same sorority. How you doing, Derek Gaden? Merch says time will tell if she's qualified or not. Merch, and whether she is or not, it's just they're hiding behind their racism. They're upset. She was appointed by DeSantis, who's a Republican, and she's a Trump supporter. But they're giving these other excuses. So just be transparent. They won't do that. Caesar, say it again for the people in the back. How can anyone in their right mind have a problem with her having this position? Caesar, again, we know what this is about, love. We do. Incorporate Johnson reflects a lifelong dedication to service, leadership, and excellence. Raised in Tampa Bay and now residing in Winter Garden, Florida, she remains a formidable advocate for educational opportunity and excellence. So there she is, and they are losing their minds. And again, some of the larger YouTubers are going, I've seen some of the smaller ones, but you know, Roland Martin, Roly Poly, he's talked about this. Some of the other larger YouTubers are going to pick up on this because this is it's a firestorm right now. Okay, tell me what your thoughts are. I wanted to go over her bio since they keep saying she is not qualified. And just be honest and tell us why you really don't want this woman as the president of FAMU. So it's the hypocrisy that I can't stand, and I have to expose it. Merch Pack, I'm a grad. It's deeper than politics, but politics definitely plays a role. Yes, Merch Pack. Merch Pack, are you a FAMU University grad? Diane, my daughter did too, makes good money doing. Oh, okay. All right. So let me pull up and I'll show you. Where are we here? Yeah, let me show you her resume. So she's more than qualified on paper. But again, they're not going to come out and tell you the real reason why. She's a Trump supporter. And she was appointed by a Republican governor. Thank Chris. She seems qualified to me. I like the science background. Yes, Chris. Tina said Black Lives Matter needs to back her. Tina, it's political and definitely hypocritical. Mom to 3. Say it for the people in the back. Yes, Lanita. Die hard Dems cannot stand foundational Black Americans that are on point politically and educationally. This lady has her eyes open to their shady game. She's no one's fool, even though she's an AKA. Yeah, and you see, she's big on accountability. What's been going on since Doge has been opening the books? Someone tell me, type it in the chat section. So this is big, folks. Big. No, they're never satisfied. They're not. Okay, so look at this. They keep saying she's not qualified. Look at this. Let me show you. I'll go slow. I also shared her resume. Maya sisters, how you doing, love? Hit the like button, dear. I shared her resume in the description box up under the video. This is academic snobbery by elites because she does not have the teaching and publication experience. Maya sisters, you just joining. She was appointed by Ron DeSantis, and she's a Trump supporter. They're saying that this is a hostile takeover. That's what they're saying. All right. Thank you for joining the chat, Maya sisters. I haven't seen you in a while. So look at this here. I'm leaving it up so you can read it. I won't read it verbatim. Look at everything this woman has done in her career. Florida, we need teachers with integrity. They are or will be role models. Yes, Florida, yes. All right. Look at her executive impact. And again, she's going to require accountability. So they see what's going on with Doge, just like we do. Chris said, quit fractions, teach us with a ruler. All right. Chris. Okay. All right. So look at this resume. Impeccable. Look at this. But she's not qualified. And they don't want to come out and say, no, it's because she supports Trump. That's why they're calling it a hostile takeover. Tell me what your thoughts are, folks, in the comment section. She's done a lot. And if you read everything she's done in her career, in my opinion, that makes her qualified, in my personal opinion. And she's been working with students and with, in education. She hasn't been in a school, but she's still been working in the field of education of youth. Mayor says she's probably overqualified, but she's a Trump supporter. Mayor, say it for the people in the back. We know what this is about. Yes. Look at this. Impeccable. And I'll scroll. Again, you can read her bio, her resume in the description box. Once I end the video, I shared it there too. Mom to 3. I've taught a long time. My daughter 2 for several. My students know I'm a Christian because I tell them and show it in my actions. They know I love them all because I tell them. Oh, mom to 3. That's so nice. I do too. So look at everything she's done. And then even some of her earlier career stuff here. Vice president, VP, senior counsel, senior staff, she's done enough. Meyer sisters. What the critics do not understand is that she has executive leadership experience, which is required for a college president. Maya, they know that. This is because she's a Republican and she's a Trump supporter. Boom. Her resume is very impressive. She's definitely more than qualified. Tina, yes. That's why I'm sharing this with you. This is all a crock. And they're calling this a hostile takeover. Lanita, BLM's never going to back this lady because she's not about the ABC leftist liberal agenda that is hurting Black America. Yeah, right, Lanita. No, she's not. They won't. Look at her honors and awards. State Bar of Georgia, bar admission. Yeah, look at this. Governor Rick Scott appointed her board member, Florida State Board of Education. So what do you mean she hasn't worked in education? Look at this, folks. These people are nuts. And if I'm moving too fast, again, once I end the video, you can see it in the description box. My husband taught wood and metals at a high school in Chicago. They didn't know how to use a ruler. Florida, they don't know how to use a ruler. They don't know how to tell time with an analog clock. Don't get me started on that, Florida, because I'll be talking to you from now until the rapture. Look at this. Look at this. I'm finally at the end of her resume. All right, I'll stop sharing that now. What do you think, folks? Talk to me. All right, I also wanted to share So I wanted to, hold on, I just shared that with you. I'm going to get back to the videos, don't worry. But this has been an ongoing issue with some of the HBCUs. Some have shut down. Do something different. How you doing? Okay. Thank you. Do something different. Do something different. Are you familiar with this issue? Darla, how you doing, love? Everyone who's here, do me one small favor. Hit that like button and share this out on your various forms of social media. I would love to bring more people into the conversation because a lot of people are not aware that this is going on. Okay. Now, I told you, I live in North Carolina. So St. Augustine's University, which is in Raleigh, not terribly far from where I live, they have been in dire straits. They had all kinds of financial issues on the verge of closing down. So look at this. St. Augustine's University in Raleigh, North Carolina, again at HBCU, is in an ongoing battle with the IRS and the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools. Those of you in the public school arena like I am, that's SACS, right? Board of Trustees after the historically Black school's previous finance department mismanaged, operative word, a $34 million budget, according to university officials. Now, this is just one I'm sharing with you. There are many others that have mismanaged money. Now you see why they don't want her there. There's going to be some accountability. Thank you, Chubbs, Chubby Wubby. I saw your thumbnail after watching gun video and was like, what is this we have? Okay, do something different. So I hope you're learning something here, dear. Great. And that's why I wanted to do it. Again, the larger YouTubers are going to catch hold and do this as well when they're done with their current events. All right. Historically Black colleges and universities, both public and private, have been underfunded due to lower endowments, less alumni support, and state and federal underinvestment. Recently, HBCUs have faced several challenges during a funding crisis. Tennessee State University had its board stripped away in a complete overhaul by state lawmakers. So again, with all these things, how you doing, Rhonda? All these things going on, mismanagement of funding is a major issue at HBCUs. They don't want to be exposed, folks. And again, I'm showing you this because you see it's happening at more than one. All right. In Mississippi, lawmakers proposed a bill that would have shut down the state's only public HBCUs. Okay? So if you want to remain open and you're mismanaging millions of dollars, and some have shuttered their doors. Okay, so why not let someone come in who's qualified? We know why. Hit the like button for me, folks. Rhonda, share this on your Facebook page, please, dear. Now, teachers and staff at St. Augustine's have not received a salary for 3 months following the institution's plunge into debt of $32 million. The dire financial situation places the university at a high risk of losing its accreditation, which they eventually did lose. They have it back now, but they did lose accreditation for a period of time. Darla, you are always bringing us information that I don't hear elsewhere. Thank you, Darla. That's why I'm trying to bring Darla. Share this on your Facebook page, love. Thank you. Mom of where are we? Merch. I'm here in Tallahassee. We feel it was a political hire. That's why politics definitely plays a part. But I hope whoever the president is can be a great job. Yes, and Merch. Accountability, love. If you have accountability, possibly you can prevent them from having their doors shut in a few years, like some HBCUs have. Yes, Mom to 3. Robert soon, I hope. Yes, Mayor. All right. So look at this. So I'm going over this again. This ties into everything we're talking about today and not being accountable. We're still unpacking, but the biggest piece starts with missing audits. Look at this. Now, this is huge. All of you know if you're receiving money from the federal government, you know eventually you're going to be audited. Missing audits from 2021, 2022, 2023. And this isn't the only situation St. Aug had going on. They also had some other issues with mismanagement. They had students who couldn't graduate for various reasons. And so they've had some issues. St. Augustine's interim president, Marcus Burgess, told ABC News in an interview in March, a $34 million budget. There was only one, look at this, folks, $130,000 that can be accounted for out of $34 million. Out of 34, they could only tell the federal government what they did with $130,000. Make it make sense, people. Make it make sense. So a new finance team was brought in, and they literally had to recreate all of those financials, and it took them about 2 years to do that. Yeah. So they, they don't want to be exposed, right, Mayor? Christine Johnson McPhail, the previous president of St. Augustine's University, was terminated on December 3rd, 2023, when the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Boards of Trustees voted unanimously to remove St. Augustine's status as an accredited university. Now, those that don't know, let me break that down for you. If students are attending a university that has lost their accreditation, you're in deep stuff. Okay. Montrez. Yes, that's in Raleigh, North Carolina, Montrez. Less than an hour from where I live. Yes. Yes, mom to three. So that means, folks, you're screwed. Where are you going to get a job? And if you're graduating from a university that has lost its accreditation, you wasted time and money. Tell me in the comments, folks, what do you think? So Chris said somebody raided the bank on that one. Yeah, Chris, only $130,000 was accounted for. They don't want the oversight. They don't want Doge coming in. Kelsey, yes. Hit the like button. Kelsey, share this on your Facebook page, please, love. I'm glad you're here. My coworker's here. Thank you, dear. Tina, yes, Tina. And when you're receiving money from the federal government, you knew they were going to audit you. You don't know when, but you know it's coming. Oh my God. So anyway. All right. So this is Dr. Christine Johnson McPhail, 13th president of St. Augustine's University. This is, all right, the lady. Maya, yes. When a university loses its accreditation, that's pretty much like saying you wasted your time and your money. Where are you going to get a job? You have to graduate from a university that is accredited. Well, when they were audited, mom to three, they could not account for how much was it? 34 million. They can only account. I'm highlighting that for you. $130,000. They don't know where the other money went. This is all they could account for. Make it make sense. All right. So, and again, Miss McPhail, she was terminated. This is the lady who was the president at that time. Right, Chris? Exactly. All right. And then, of course, when you go to we're not at liberty to discuss the financial situation at St. Augustine's University. It is our position that St. Augustine's termination of Dr. McPhail's employment was unrelated to the school's financial situation. Okay, tell me another one. According to the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commission on Colleges, SACS, the university's accreditation is currently on hold due to financial and governance issues. Everybody see that? This has happened at more than one HBCU. Yes, Mom to 3. Lanita, Paul Quinn College in Texas years back was so bad, it looked like a ghetto housing project. Hope it uses its funds better today. Yeah, Lanita, type it in the comment section. How many HBCUs were shuttered due to financial and governance issues? I hope it uses its funds better today. In the 80s, it had boarded up buildings and administrators were paid. Right, Lanita? Okay. So anyway, they had to get their accreditation back. Gave us 90 days. So within that 90 days, we're still accredited. Berger said allows our seniors to graduate from an accredited institute. Yeah, if you graduate, you get a college degree from a university that has lost their accreditation. You are so done. You're toast. And says it loses its accreditation. 85% of the students will lose. You know, when you lose accreditation, I didn't even mention this. That money from the federal government, that financial aid, whoop, it's gone. So, St. Aug needed to raise $32 million to pay its debts and remain optional. They had a tax lien of $7.8 million from the IRS for unpaid. Look at this. Unpaid payroll taxes dating back to 2020. Yes, Tina. Kelsey shared you in the FAMU alumni room and on my Facebook page. We withdrew our $20 million request for athletics when we thought we were going to get the $237 million and lost $16.3 million for DEI. Oh my God. Kelsey said, I'm with my new president. Yes. Thank you, Kelsey. Yes, I am too. Let we get on board and support her. Because we know this is political. All right. So yeah. Look at this is unacceptable, folks. A university receiving a tax lien of $7.8 million from the IRS, unpaid payroll taxes? Really? Due to the school debt, Burgess and his staff have been working without compensation since. So some of these people were going to work and they weren't being paid. Staff have not been paid, but they still fight for this institution. Burgess said they still teach our students. They want to see this class get to the graduation date, but they are hurting. So yeah, this is what's going on, folks. And I'm going to get back to our videos, but I had to show you that so you could gain some understanding about what's in play here. Because again, it's several. It's not one HBCU. This has happened at several HBCUs. Mismanagement of money and governance. Mom to 3, how did they not send in the payroll taxes? That's supposed to be automatically taken out. Mom to 3, when you figure that out, you let me know. That's an automatic. So how do you not do that? Come on. Okay, so despite an outpouring of support from alumni and community donations, the amount raised is hardly enough to solve. Yeah, you need $33 million plus. We need capital and need cash. Okay, so yeah, I wanted to share that with you. Okay, let me stop sharing that. Hit the like button, folks. Share this page out. Is this helping to get you to gain a better picture of what's going on here? All right, now let's get back because I have a Roland Martin video to share with you as well. He is livid. He's saying that FAMU is under siege. They're being taken over by MAGA. Get out of here. All right, so let me get back to, and those of you just joining the chat, this video we're watching, they're saying that this is MAGA's attempt at a hostile takeover of their Black HBCU. Mom to 3, total mismanagement. And this isn't an anomaly. This happens frequently, Mom to 3. It's the pink elephant in the room. Everyone sweeps it under the carpet. No one wants to say anything, but we all know he's there. Florida, there are students who are still in touch with him. One joined the Army. Now he has an AC business. Another became a roofer and is making a lot of money. We're very happy. Oh, good, Florida. That's good, love. I don't know Chubbs, but I'm going to play his video when I'm done with this one. So let's see what they're saying. They're lost.
Ease it out as a department, even though we know Congress would have to be required in order for that to be accomplished. They are bringing.
Well, it used to be. Who knows?
Well, it used to be. That's true. When they had.
I don't know what the rules are anymore. And can I just say, Andrew, she was somewhere. I forget. You all probably saw this clip. And she was somewhere talking about A1 education. And A1 education is going to be taught in schools. And she supports A1 education.
What is A1?
Do you know what this dizzy, half-witted idiot was trying to say? AI. He was trying to say AI and was on a stage and said A1 numerous times. This is the person they put in charge of the Department of Education. This is not a serious administration at all.
Tiffany, I was about to say she got set up by a staffer, but she wasn't set up. You just have to read the words.
She's just an idiot. She's not well versed. She's not cultured. She's not
to
informed.
The point that we need a good education system.
You almost got to go out your way to not know what AI means. Like you almost have to I refuse to read a paper ever to not know about the intersection of AI and education right now. But
as you're perusing your speech, you ask somebody, "What is A1?"
Right. If you are confused, you ask. But even if you if that's something you're used to seeing, which is written about all the time, you would see that and immediately know.
You give them too much credit.
Not calling the DOJ Doge, you know the difference between the made up department and the actual Department of Justice. But before you get too deep in education, can you just explain to me, you're talking to a 5-year-old, what is the deal at FAMU?
They're trying to hire a president.
Okay.
And that search.
The governor appoints him?
No, the governor appoints a board of trustees. So if you're familiar with, and by the way, this may not exist everywhere for everybody. Florida a long time ago used to have one board that governed all of our state universities. Jeb Bush, when he came in, got rid of that one board who acted in the interests, per se, of all of the state's higher education institutions, public institutions. And he replaced them with individual boards of trustees at each college campus. So privates have always largely existed this way. Each private school has a board of trustees or of governance, but someone who sits above the president so that the president will be accountable to them. That politicization with these appointments coming largely from political individuals have created the circumstance where in many instances, the boards are not acting in the interest of that campus, but are doing the bidding of their appointers. So if their appointer is Ron DeSantis, and Ron DeSantis has decided that DEI is to be dead in the state of Florida, and that any institution who continues a policy where they value diversity, equity, and inclusion, they can be, if he has the power to remove them or not appoint them, reappoint them again, it becomes a cudgel over their heads where you either do my bidding or you don't do bidding at all. You come off the board. You understand what I mean by politicization?
But how would you even kill DEI at an HBCU? And I should say in Project 2025, they actually are that is not one of their targets. They actually are okay with HBCUs because they're yes, send Black people there. But the funding part, that part is something that we have to question. The executive order that Donald Trump, which we have to remind people is not a law. Executive orders are not laws. And so I'm still confused on how you actually execute that. But it didn't say it was a bunch of nothing to me in that EO. I didn't really understand it. So I'm curious because I think FAMU can be the poster child on how worried and concerned we should be for HBCUs. I'm curious how this might go. Who are is he looking to put a Republican as president? Is he influencing the board of trustees?
So again, all of this is the stuff that is happening behind the scenes. So I'm hesitant to say who is doing what, and more interested in the fact that the process is being disrupted, that we can no longer trust that the people who become finalists for these jobs to lead these institutions are finalists because there's a ringer in there. They're finalists because there's somebody who is percolating to the top. In FAMU's case, the candidate who is seen to be the one to beat, the one who has come out appearing to have the support of at least all the known Republicans that I know who are on the board.
See, that's another issue. All the Republicans support her. So you know they have an issue with that. And she's a Trump supporter. And she was appointed by Ron DeSantis and another Republican, Rick Scott. So they don't want her anywhere near their campus.
And who are doing their level best to cozy up to the administration, are supporting this one candidate. This one candidate happens to have never, ever worked in higher education as an employee, never been an administrator of a college, never been a president.
So again, hey, Tiffany Cross and Rye and this crew, you know what it is, but I still wanted to play some of this for you. Don't go anywhere, folks, because I have a roly-poly video. He's losing his mind over this situation. I'm not going to play the whole video, but I will play some more. So you could just hear this crazy stuff they're saying.
And is against, has been set up against candidates who actually do have higher education experience.
Is there a reason you're not naming the person?
I don't
do it.
No, I'll say her name or name. Actually, you know what? The reason why I'm not naming the person is because I actually think the issue is bigger than the individual. The issue that I really have with it is politics being used to maneuver a process which is supposed to be about FAMU and FAMU's future and what is in the best interest of the institution. That is being hijacked by not just
Marva?
The governor.
Marva Johnson?
Marva Johnson is the candidate that is being championed. Yes. And again, I'm not afraid to say
Vice President for State Government Affairs at Charter Communications.
Yeah.
The other people
technology.
Come from
academia.
Yes. Rondell Allen, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs at University of Maryland Eastern Shore. Gerald Hector, somebody's doorbell's ringing. It's not mine this time. Gerald Hector.
It's definitely somebody at my door.
Senior Vice President for Administration and Finance at University of Central Florida. And Donald Palm, who's the Executive Vice President and COO at FAMU. Marva Johnson is a Group Vice President for State Government Affairs at Charter Communications.
Lobbyist.
Correct.
She's a lobbyist for Charter.
So to the point, we would expect that in evaluating a candidate for president of the largest single campus HBCU in the country, the largest producer of Black baccalaureate, magisterial, and doctoral degree holders amongst Black folk in the state of Florida and leading in the country, would have a president who has some experience at running an institution of higher education.
So those of you who are just entering the chat, how you doing, Dee's Ride Service? We're glad you're here. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, if you will. Dee's Ride Service. If you have Facebook, Instagram, Truth Social, share this stream out. Let's bring more people into the conversation. We're glad you're here. So you see the narrative that they're trying to form. And those that don't know, before you join, make sure you, when I end this video, make sure you go to the description box and look at her bio, look at her resume. But they keep saying, oh, she's not qualified. And it's all because, I keep saying it because people keep joining the chat. It's because she is a Trump supporter and she was appointed by Ron DeSantis. So they're saying this is a hostile takeover. Yeah, we're glad he's here. All right. Okay, here we go. We're going to look at just a few more minutes of this. Don't go anywhere because you know I have roly-poly on board.
Are all these folks Black?
Those, to my knowledge, yes.
Now, did you hear that question that Tiffany Cross just asked? Are all of these people Black? She asked about the people who are actually on the board. So she's thinking, oh God, are there some white people on there? She asked if they just can't believe that a Trump supporter is going to be the new president of FAMU at HBCU University. So you see with them, it's always about the black. Blackity, blackity, black.
Okay.
Marva went black. To Georgetown.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, she has gone to college, like? And she has degrees.
And is she a Republican? She's a MAGA supporter. What's her deal?
Yes. In fact, some of the look, I don't know her personal party affiliation. I do know in the spaces in which she works, where a lot of their political money goes, and the fact that she is a supporter of Ron DeSantis, and there is a campaign that refers to her as MAGA Marva.
Well, MAGA Marva is or was a commissioner appointed
of the state board.
All right. So if you want to see that in its entirety, again, you can find it in the description box. We got to get to Roly Poly. So he did a video before she was actually appointed. He said FAMU was under siege. And again, he has no, where are we here? Okay, yeah. He has no clout, in my opinion. Angela Rye, the most miserable woman on the planet. You got that right. All right. So this is Roland Martin's take. And then when she was actually chosen, he said that she is grossly underqualified. So let me play some of this for you. They are losing it. You're going to hear this from some of the other YouTubers. Trust me.
A&M's presidential search has reached a fever pitch with controversy swirling around finalist Marva Johnson in the process itself. Despite strong opposition from students, alumni, and civil rights leaders, including a rally led by Florida A&M alum and Hollywood producer Will Johnson, Johnson made her case before the Board of Trustees. During her interview today, she thanked the search committee and emphasized her commitment to Florida A&M's legacy. Meanwhile, critics say they question her academic qualifications and alleged political interference, pointing to her ties to Florida's Republican leadership and her late addition to the finalist pool. NAACP leaders in the Florida A&M community have called for a restart of the search to ensure transparency and fairness. The Board of Trustees are going to vote on May 16th, with the Florida Board of Governors making the final decision. Play some of that audio, please.
Assessments, and this is one place where AI can be helpful. Getting real-time assessments from students might help the teachers improve their ability to service the students in the classroom. And so if we pull levers like that, I think we can make progress. And if we can't make progress, maybe we can have a better perspective on what opportunities we should look to so that we can make that.
All of the finalists have been meeting this week on campus with the board, with students. People have an opportunity to ask questions as well. Again, it was a lot here. This was a video posted.
Okay, so what do you think so far, folks? You hear the words that they're using: hostile takeover, under siege. Those of you just joining the chat, hit the like button. This is all politically driven because she is a Trump supporter, because she was appointed by Ron DeSantis. Okay. All right, here we go.
Florida A&M alumni in the community is packed, unlike previous evening sessions, with the other finalists. Attendees include Will Packer and Lawrence Humphreys, son of former Florida A&M president William Humphreys. Watch this here. Turn it up.
We have the 2+2 articulation. So my role as a member of the state board of ed and as the chair of the state board of ed, I spent a lot of time working in education policy as well as in managing performance as it relates to delivering the outcomes that our families need for our students here in the state of Florida.
Now, there have been others who've been commenting, who have been raising their concerns. Let me pull up a second here. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you here Give me a second right here. I want to show you Andrew Gillum, of course, who is a graduate of Florida A&M. He weighed in.
You know, Andrew Gillum is a graduate of Florida A&M. Someone tell me what you know about Andrew Gillum.
As well, with his thoughts on all of this on Instagram. Let me go there. I want to show you what he had to say. Again, folks are not at all happy specifically about Marva Johnson. They're unhappy that that she has been picked as a finalist. Part of this is because they say she has no university experience whatsoever. Now, you heard her there talk about being on the State Board of Education, but again, she's never actually worked in higher education. Let me see if I can pull this together for you. This was on Instagram. Andrew Gillum. He says, meet Marva Johnson, political puppet, no ties to Florida A&M, no higher education experience. She's not here for us.
I know this comment section is getting ready to catch on fire. Do something different. Andrew Sassy with the white man. Yeah, you know. Tell me what you know about him. When are they going to arrest Jasmine Crow? Robert, it's coming. Roland hates the country his parents chose to migrate to. Perhaps he should consider moving back to his homeland, Haiti. Caesar, I'm with you. I bet when Roland gets dressed, he always puts his panties on too tight because it's affecting his thinking. Andrew the pillow biter. Woo! I knew it was coming. All right, here we go.
She's here for them. And so you have his post here. He says, Republican conservative operatives are knocking. They see FAMU as their next takeover. We can't let them in.
You let those men in. So again, he needs to go somewhere and sit down. This is crazy. I cannot with this guy. All right, let's continue.
And then he says, outside power players are trying to hijack our leadership. We see you and we won't stay silent. And so they says, you see what it says here, no MAGA Marva movement. Diambe, that's a whole lot going on there. And look, the point is, you know what? Look, I personally know Marva Johnson. I met her years ago. She's been a cable lobbyist. So I've met her at cable events. But when they say that if you want the president of a university, if you've never worked at a university in any capacity whatsoever, how are you qualified to be the president of a university?
All right, I'm going to get rid of the commercial. And during that time, type in the comment section. What are your thoughts so far?
I think this is a big can of worms, in part because of DeSantis, right? And his move to like root out ideological stuff, as I think he used the term, at universities, and FAMU was the latest. Look, there are a lot of routes to becoming the president. I do think it is important for a person as a university president to understand how a university works. It's not a business. It's not like other things. You not only have to know how to fundraise, and distribute money, but you also have to know how to deal with students, deal with families, deal with parents. And yes, you have deans and vice provosts and all those kind of folks to do that stuff. But a lot of your job is about restoring or installing confidence in that place. And if people don't feel that you are a person of integrity, that you are bringing that to that position, then you're going to get responses like that.
And those of you who are just joining the chat, I shared as they call her, Marva. I shared her bio. I shared her resume. She's more than qualified. Chris, he probably knows his past. He just doesn't care. Roland and Andrew both lack any masculine traits. Chris, his parents were fortune tellers rolling down the hill. Okay. All right, let's continue. And then I have one more video for you. Then we're done.
I don't think that there's a way that Marva Johnson can take this job with no prior university experience, with no ties to this institution and all of the other things, and expect to have the respect of her university community. The fact that you saw this many students at that function when it is after the end of classes, right? At the very end of the semester, their summer technically should be starting now. And you see that many students there, that is a testament to how bothered and upset these students are and how concerned they are. And it is no surprise that DeSantis would go after one of the flagship Black institutions in that state. It's no means the only, but I think when you think about FAMU and think about its status in that state and just its status nationally as a premier institution, we should have known that it would be on the offing, especially since so many Florida universities have had new presidents in the last couple of years. So I think people should be rightly concerned that this person is there just to sort of do the bidding of the governor and not serve the needs of the students of Florida A&M University.
This is the thing that jumps out at me. Again, as somebody who understands institutions, who run places, I just believe, Rebecca, that when you're talking about being the president of a university, let's just look at some numbers here. Okay, Florida A&M, 10,000 student body. Okay, when you look at size of the faculty and staff, I mean, we're talking about 422 acre campus. We're talking about, again, where the university ranks. We're looking at so many different things. When it comes to background, if you've never run something, it's kind of hard to make the point about, yeah, you go ahead and run this now. That's one of the points also Will Patrick has been making. I'm going to go to my iPad. This is the local station where he talked about his opposition to her being president.
Amphitheater's namesake himself, Will Packer.
We have to make sure that we support each other and that we are loud and we are ardent in our opposition to somebody that is not right for the future of this institution, especially at a time that is so crucial.
The renowned FAMU alum and film producer tells us countless from the...
Now, you got 535 full-time instructional faculty, 476 support service staff. Again, if I'm hiring somebody, my first question is, have you ever run an institution of this size?
And those who are just joining the chat, no, she has not run an institution of that size. But if you look at her resume, her bio, which I shared earlier, she is more than qualified for this position. The issue is she's a Trump supporter and she was appointed by a Republican governor. So there you go. So that's why you have the outcry. That's why you have a firestorm that has been ignited, but they're not going to come out and say it. I will. Let's go.
Have you run an institution half this size? If you haven't, how could you be considered a finalist for a job of a flagship university in the state of Florida?
So here's the thing about FAMU. If you know anyone who went to FAM or is an alum of FAM, and if you're familiar or part of the FAMU League, then you absolutely know how tight-knit that community is. If you never walked the highest of 7 hills there, then you don't need to be trying to run FAMU. So it's not just whether or not have you run an institution where it's over 10,000 enrolled students, plus just under 1,000 faculty and staff, but it's also what is your commitment to FAMU? The other thing is past this prologue. So I believe she was the chair of the Florida State Board of Education. So tell me, how did Black students in Florida public schools fare under your leadership? Did they increase? Did they improve in scholastic achievements? Or was there a decrease? What were the outcomes of Black students? If you can't answer that, if you can't prove even in your past that you've done things to the...
And so they're not including everything that she has done. So check it out when I end the video, or you can Google it yourself. Google her name, her bio, her resume. It's all online. Lanita, the majority of non-FBA folks are not on code with FBA. That's why they elevate them in political positions. They will side with dim leftists against our community mainly and do nothing. Okay.
Betterment of Black students in the state of Florida, then you do not deserve to run FAMU. And finally, I'm going to be a little petty and no, to those who are making comments, I'm not going to make fun of her wig, but this is what I'm going to say. She is a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha. I think it's telling that they're like, usually when someone who's trying to go into leadership and is a member of my illustrious sorority, we go up for that person. We are extremely supportive and supporting that person. I think it's very telling that I'm not hearing members of Alpha Kappa Alpha shouting out their support of her in this endeavor. She certainly is not a good fit. She is not qualified. She has not shown a commitment to the FAMU community. And it is what it is. It's a farce.
So again, for me, I just look at very clear metrics and understanding. Andrew, we'll go to you. I'm looking at, this is the resume. Again, y'all, this is not my opinion.
So this is, again, I pulled it up myself and I shared this earlier. And I also shared her bio. She's more than qualified, in my opinion.
This is the resume of Marva Brown Johnson. It says right here. Okay, this is, I just want everybody to hear what I'm saying. Professional experience, Charter Communications, 2016 to president. Group Vice President, 2020 to president. Regional Vice President, State Government Affairs for the South, 2016 to 2020. Okay. Bright House Networks acquired by Charter in 2016. So worked there from 2016 to 2016. Corporate Vice President, Government and Industry Affairs, 2010 to 2016. Corporate Vice President, Technology Policy and Industry Affairs, Interim Vice President, CLEC Operations. Then you go to Director, Carrier Services and Financial Operations, 2006, 2008. So if we're starting in 2000, if we're, and again, okay, you know, law degree from Georgia State, MBA from Emory University, executive management program, Harvard Business School, Bachelor of Science from Georgetown University. Okay. So if I'm looking at experience, I'm looking at 2016 to present. So that's 19 years.
I mean, none.
No, I'm sorry. Nowhere in here do I see leading or running an institution, running how many employees. Again, this is what I look at. I look at how many people did you manage? I look at, do any of these jobs have what we call P&L responsibility, profit and loss? The answer is no. I'm sorry. I don't, and again, I know Marva personally. I've met her. She's a golfer. I mean, I text her last week. I just don't see how this light of a resume to be a university president. These two simply don't correlate.
Well, look, Roland, you know, honestly, after seeing this, I think that I might put in my application to be the president of Howard University. Because this is the definition of a plant. When you look at the other candidates.
So I said that earlier. They are considering her a plant from the Republicans. And she's trying to destroy their illustrious university. That's their thought process. I'll continue.
It says she's up against. One is the vice president of that university. The other one works at Eastern Shore currently. They are so much higher qualified than she is, even at this moment, that it makes zero sense except for the fact that she is a MAGA plant.
So again, the other people voted for the Curry Queen. She's a Trump supporter. We know what this is, folks. Okay, like we said earlier.
And for her to even be considered, you go back to thinking about the process of applying for a job. When you sit behind your computer, you put your resume in, and then you hope that you get a call back. You get all these qualifications that a person in this job needs to do this, and that, right? And then you apply for the job and you say, man, I have all these qualifications and I hope that I get a call back. And they called her back, someone that I was listening, I didn't hear anything in there that said anything about being in any way related to education, whether it be even except for a student, right? Except for getting degrees in education, nothing in there teaching a class, even sitting on a board of a university, nothing in terms of educational experience. So this is a definition of a plan. It's sad because we have somebody in the White House right now that has experience, yes, 4 years beforehand, but completely unqualified for the position. And now they're starting in Florida. It goes back to what I was saying about the South, that we got to watch the South, right? In these trends in the South. And they're starting in Florida at FAMU, a very well-known, highly respected HBCU. And I think that if they let her in, there's going to be the trend. Because just because she's an AKA does not mean that she's qualified to run an entire institution.
Skamala wasn't qualified to be president of the United States, but you all got on board and supported her. Right? D-Rod said that in the chat. Absolutely right. Caesar said Roland Martin is a plant. Oh my God. Danny C said that Roland Martin was talking negatively about her on his show. What a creep. D said that, bro, they need to cut the carbs. Woo! Lanita, how can this little heifer talk about the woman's hair when she's styling 8 packs of plastic and them bad knotted braids? Bet she bald-headed as an egg. Woo! All right. Let's see where we are here.
So I just want to show people, these are the finalists. All right. So you look right here. Rondell Allen, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, University of Maryland, Eastern Shore. And then if you click CV, you'll see, let's see here. You'll see Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, University of Maryland, Eastern Shore. Acting Vice President for Strategic Initiatives, Dean of the School of Pharmacy and Health Professions, Associate Dean for Academic Quality, Associate Dean for Student Affairs, Xavier University. The Dean of Academic Quality was South University School of Pharmacy. Assistant Dean for Program Assessment, Xavier University. That's, to me, that's called relevant academic experience to be president. Okay, here's the next person. Gerald Hector, CPA, Senior Vice President for Administration and Finance at the University of Central Florida. If I click his CV, what is it going to tell me? Senior Vice President, University of Central Florida. Oversaw the issuance of structured bonds, okay, all the whole deal, late implementation, all these things in terms of being the VP for administration and finance. Then as I go, Morehouse College, Executive Vice President, Chief Business Officer. Let's see here, Cornell University, Vice President for Financial Affairs, University Treasurer, there 2 years. Before that, let's see here, Vice President for Financial Affairs. They're still at Cornell. Okay. Ithaca College, Vice President for Finance and Administration. Let me go down further. Johnson C. Smith, Vice President of Business and Finance. Okay. Corporate Controller, United Negro College Fund. There for 6 years. Deloitte and Touche, Public Accountant. All right. So that is a extensive business academic record. Okay.
All right. That's enough of that video. So what are your thoughts, folks, on their take on this being her being a plant? And again, Lightbearer said they want someone they can control. Lightbearer, they want someone who will not hold them accountable as well. Okay, you're absolutely right. All right, so let me show you. I have one more video to share with you, and then we are done. If you're enjoying this content, folks, please, please, please hit that like button for me. And where are we here? Okay. If you've been watching and you haven't subscribed to the channel, well, hey, today's your day. So let me show you. All right. So now they were saying it was rigged. All right, let me get you here. I won't play the whole video because this video is over. It's almost an hour. So yeah, 59 likes. Yay. All right. We're doing good today. All right. So we're going to go past. Yeah, they are so upset. Let me get this last video set up for you. And she is grossly underqualified. So there's outrage. The students are upset. The faculty. All right, so let me get this. And we just went over that. So we won't listen. So this was when he was talking before she actually had the job. Montrez, how you doing? Yes, fiscal conservatism. Yes. Yeah, she has it like Vera. And now when she finally got the job, oh God, they lost their minds. Listen to this. So the first Rolly video I shared with you, that was before she actually got the job. This video was after she got it, and they lost their minds.
Folks, it was already decided. It was already done. This cake was baked. They basically decided, Ron DeSantis said to his people, make my girl the president. And in the 8-4 vote, that is exactly what they did. It was extremely contentious today. There were folks who spoke at the hearing. And again, if you look at social media, if you look at all of the talk, all the chatter, I mean, it has been on fire. Folks talking. I have seen individuals make clear that they were going to, that they were pulling their money. There was one woman who said she had already included Florida A&M in her will. She was removing them. I can guarantee you are going to see a backlash. This is not going to sit well at all with the alumni at Florida A&M University. It was incredible just listening to the arguments that these people made as to why she should be the president. It was unbelievable, again, listening to them. The board chair weighed in with her thoughts. I just want to show some of what the board chair had to say. And also, again, this board hamstrung her. Go ahead.
The mission is all right. Let me get rid of this commercial. So I told you when she got it for sure, they lost it. I love it. Here we go.
I want to again thank you, fellow trustees, for this healthy dialogue and civil discourse and good governance. And thanks again to the Presidential Search Committee for getting us to this point, and Committee Chair Gibbons for leading the committee. Like each of you, I take my fiduciary duty very seriously. And this is a consequential decision that will shape the future of students and the success of those students, as well as the engagement level or lack thereof of faculty, staff, alumni, current and future donors, the Tallahassee community, the members of the industry cluster, and beyond. Yes, I am a proud two-time alumna of this illustrious institution. Yes, I was the third female SGA president, Student Government Association, for those who are watching and who may not be familiar with the language and nuances of FAMU. Yes, I'm a Humphreys era Rattler. Yes, I married a Rattler. Yes, our daughter is a graduate of this institution and is duly employed by a Fortune 100 company because of the education she got from this institution. But it's not just my personal history that shapes my service to this board. And you're right, Trustee White, this is a thankless job, but I do it for the love of FAMU, selflessly. And there are two factors that have always guided every decision I make, every deliberation, and that is student success and the perpetuity of FAMU. I'm a huge believer that what gets measured gets done. And I welcome the performance-based funding model. I embrace the accountability plan. I am extremely proud of the progress that this university has made with this board, as well as with predecessors who have preceded the roles in which we now sit. That in our 137-year history, we have reached historic highs as it relates to four-year graduation rates, in spite of. That we have achieved the highest score of an 83 this year since the performance-based funding model has been established. That is something to be extremely proud of. But we do have a ways to go. We do need to continue to advocate for student success that will ensure engagement across every important stakeholder group and the perpetuity of the institution that so many of us love and cherish at this College of Love and Charity. There's no leader without followers. And having spent the entire week on campus, having participated in the interviews, having participated in each and every community forum with community members and alumni.
All right, another commercial. So what are your thoughts on that, folks? Do something different. Okay.
Through the summary of hundreds of stakeholder feedback, hundreds of inputs. Having read up until maybe 1:30 a.m. this morning, every email, and I've responded to everyone that I could, and will respond to everyone if I have not yet. And if I've overlooked anyone, please forgive me. But I believe in the values of this institution: accountability, transparency, integrity, and inclusion. And your voice matters. And leaders can't lead if there's no one who is following. As Trustee Bryant mentioned, stakeholder groups across various constituencies have expressed deep concern and emotional sentiment around one of the four candidates. When Chair Lamb and I worked together to name the search committee. I wanted nothing more than a high integrity process that produced exceptional candidates. I'm a believer in God, and I believe in doing things in decency and in order. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I apologize to any finalist or semifinalist whose names were leaked due to a breach of confidentiality.
So they were so upset, they leaked the names, folks. Like, oh my God, this unqualified woman. Look at, now you saw, if you've been here, Roly Poly shared the people's pictures and their resumes. So they're like, oh, they chose this unqualified person. Look at these people over here they could have chosen.
What was circulated about one of the candidates, one of the finalists, prior to this week, in spite of that, I came into this week with an open mind, but I was left feeling empty.
All right. I'll share another picture for you, okay?
Many answers were hollow. Many statements were false. PharmD students don't require a dissertation to graduate from Florida A&M. And today, there are students from over 70 countries in our student body that are represented. That's not an aspiration, that's a fact for today. There was a lack of intellectual depth and a gap in cultural connection that was just painfully blatant. I also want to make a point about the range of compensation that this board approved today. In candidates' applications, they share their salary expectations. Candidates Allen and Hector, the range was between $400,000 and $500,000. Finalist Johnson, $750,000 base plus additional performance-based compensation and commensurate benefits. And finalist Palm, negotiable. As a fiduciary, I don't think it's financially responsible to select a finalist whose qualifications pale in comparison to others and whose salary requirements we cannot afford. I want to go on the record to reflect the hypocrisy. I also have to go on the record as a Black woman. In an age of merit-based hiring decisions, how can one justify settling for a candidate who does not meet all of the position criteria, or turning a blind eye to exceptionally qualified candidates? As our beloved Joe Bullard would say, the difference is clear. With that, my vote today will be for the candidate who I believe has the executive presence, the institutional knowledge, the love for FAMU, a deep and abiding desire and proven ability to engage authentically with every stakeholder group, because every stakeholder group matters. Mm-hmm. One who will not shrink from the pressure or the history, the challenges or the gaps that have gotten us to this point. Because there are so many things that still we need to course correct and we need to close the gap for so that this institution will remain in perpetuity.
Zayla Bryant, the Florida A&M University student body president, she said this.
For the sins.
As a trustee who was chosen by the student body, supported by the alumni, taught and shaped by professors, faculty, and staff, and constantly receiving messages from aspirant potential rattlers. As a president who has made history on this campus, I'm a proud part of FAMU history, and I understand legacy and the importance of my position. The students have spoken. The alumni have spoken. Faculty and staff have spoken. History has its eyes on us, and I would be remiss if I were to take my position in vain and not vote to be the voice that has chosen me to be their voice. Out of the selection pool that we have seen this past week, I am unimpressed, and I am concerned gravely at the choices that were supposed to be the top picks for our beloved university. I'll take this time to show my support for candidate Dr. Donald Palm, because he is the only candidate out of all of my conversations and deliberations with students that I never had to question who his priority is. And as members of this board of trustees, people in leadership and people who care about education at its highest, I think it's important that we always understand that the reason why we are here, that the people who put money in our pockets, that the reason that we have any significance or influence in these chairs right now are the students. So understanding that that had to be a question is absolutely unacceptable. I won't speak on a specific candidate, but the amount of disrespect and disregard that I've seen this week from candidates was astonishing. And I hope to never see that or choose that for my beloved campus. Those are my final remarks.
All right, what are your thoughts, folks? And again, I'm not going to play all of that because it's 47 minutes. You can watch it in its entirety. The crux of everything, they're angry and upset. I told you why.
Film director, as well as producer, Rob, glad to have you here.
We'll listen to what he has to say, and then I'll stop it. You can look at the video in its entirety. It's in the description box up under my video. Okay.
Your classmate, alpha brother, Will Packer, was very, very vocal against this hire. And again, this is what I said at the outset. I'm taking MAGA off the table. I'm taking the GOP.
He's saying that, but he's not.
Off the table. I am looking at the four candidates based upon their resume. And I showed on this show yesterday the resumes of all four candidates. And there is no way that if you had 100 people and they said, pick the most qualified out of these four, out of the 100, I believe 0 would pick Marva Johnson based upon her resume. This is not about gender. It's not about anything. This is fundamentally about qualifications to be the president of a 10,000 student university.
You know, you are absolutely right. And it's tough and it's unfortunate and it's disappointing because our university deserves to be able to have somebody there that is qualified to lead a university of our caliber. Our motto is excellence with caring. So you need somebody that, in order to create that excellence, needs to care enough about the job to be able to have experience in the academic field. So that way we can grow our research departments, protect our programs. We need somebody that has the ability to understand how athletic works. So then that way we can expand our programs, recruit more students, leverage the relationships that we have, somebody that's able to inspire and support the faculty so that way they feel comfortable and seen enough to be able to pour into our students, and ultimately understand that as a university, our responsibility is to the students. So then that way we can forge relationships and create programs so they can do internships, but most importantly, so they can grow, feel seen, and understand why it's important to go and represent FAMU, themselves, the state of Florida, and our people out in the world. And if you don't have those kind of perspectives, then it's going to be tough for the university to grow. It's going to be tough to recruit new people. It's going to be tough to create an institution that is able to build on the legacy that it's had. And I don't think that it's enough to be able to say, hey, I have relationships within the state from a business perspective. Then if you want to do that, then be a fundraising chair. Do something like that. Whoever sits at that seat is going to have the ear of the board, is going to have the ear of the governor, but we need somebody with a heart and perspective that's going to put FAMU and its students and alumni first. And unfortunately, it doesn't appear that that's what we have right now.
Let me say this here, and as someone, first of all, people need to understand, my first paid job was.
So they feel that she's not there to help the university. She's there as a plant. And then they were talking about this conspiracy theory where they're trying to destroy the HBCUs if you joined late. So I won't play any more of that video. So again, you can watch it. I doubt if anyone wants to watch it in its entirety. But tell me what your thoughts are. I told you what I think. Yes, that's what they're implying, like, because they're saying this is a hostile takeover. And again, she's a Trump supporter. So they think she is there. They're saying she's a plant. She is there to destroy their illustrious university. Do something different. I hope so. I like her channel. So tell me what your thoughts are. I think that they have just gone off the deep end about this. And it's political. It's all politically motivated. They are upset because she is a Trump supporter. That's why they call her MAGA Marva. That's what they're calling her. MAGA Marva. So they're saying, that's what they're saying, Light Bearer, that she can't do that. Can you do a show on Jesse Jackson and his family on helping out the... I'll try, Robert. Thank you so much, D. Yeah, we're glad you're here. We're glad you subscribed. Yes, Light Bear, they haven't given the woman a chance. And it's all because of her political affiliation. That's what it's all about, folks. They're not going to come out and say it. They never do. But we know what it's all about. All right. She stepped off the plantation. Yes, D. They don't like that. No, 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 no. She's not on the Democratic plantation. She can't be had. She, from reading her bio, her resume earlier, accountability is big, big, big with this woman. Robert, he probably will. Give him some time. Oh my God. Just give Al Sharptongue some time. He will. Okay. All right. And that's pretty much all I have for you. I just wanted to share this with you since it has ignited a firestorm all over social media. I said, I want to talk about this. So I hope you enjoyed it. Just completely ridiculous. Yes, Light Bearer, they do. Oh, no problem, Mayor. No problem. Depending on where you are on social media, again, it's a firestorm. Type it in. You'll see. It is a firestorm. Yes, Light. Yes. Truth and light. Exactly. Exactly. So I don't know. I'll be live again. I don't know, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. I don't know. Just depends on what's going on. Oh, good night, Chubbs. Thank you for being here, love. I enjoyed each of you. So again, I wanted to do this show to show you to continue to expose the hypocrisy of the loonies. Thank you so much. Do something different. I hope this has been informative, because again, the larger YouTube channels have not covered it. I actually found this on Roland, and then one or two smaller YouTube channels. But you just wait. It'll really blow up even more when some of the larger YouTubers cover it. Thank you so much. Okay. And don't worry, they're going to get what's coming to them. Come, chameleon. You come and go. So they, they're running scared. We know what Doge is doing. So they're like, oh God, what's this lady going to do? She going to bring Doge in. So they better make sure those books are right. Checks and balances better be where they're supposed to be. D, check out my videos on that. OMG, you're absolutely right. That's all the Democrats do. They only do for non-American citizens. They do nothing for Americans. D, let me give you this link. D, I've done several videos on that. D, whenever you watch the videos, do me one small favor. Always hit that little thumb for me, and I appreciate you. I just shared a link. Running scared. Shine, sweet freedom. Yes. Running on empty. That's what they're doing. Robert, you know he will. No problem. D, let me drop you one more video. If you go through particularly my live videos, I have talked about these leftist loonies forever. The race hustlers and everything that they're doing. Oh, it's crazy. It is crazy. And it's all coming back on them now. And sorry, not sorry. I'll drop one more link for you before I go. And I just, like I said, I love exposing their hypocrisy. Here's another one, and the NAACP is included in that too. Diane, did you do a show about the mother from South Carolina who met her demise at the hands of 5 illegal? I have not done a show on that, but I've watched a video on it, Diane. I did not do a show on it. I was so busy yesterday. I wanted to. I just did not. Okay. But look for me I'll be live again more than likely Wednesday or Thursday. And then, Friday, Saturday, Sunday are my normal live stream days. So, D, when you watch the videos, if you leave comments, I will respond. All right. I'm glad you're here. So, we just welcomed a couple of new, subscribers. And so the channel is continuing to grow. I love it. All right. I hope all of you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Yes. D, you don't hear the mainstream media talking about it, but it's here on YouTube. Yes, exactly. Thank you so much, D. Leave some comments. I'll respond. Let me know what you think about the video, and just keep scrolling. I've been doing it for over a year in reference to the illegal migrants and how the Democrats have gone out of their way to give them billions of dollars when they have done nothing for American citizens. Please make sure you check those out. I did several on the Democrats and how they've treated American citizens. And I did it up to, let me see. Yeah, you can check it out. I've done a gazillion videos on the Democrats and what they've done to the American people. Trust me. If you go on my channel, up under live, that's where you're going to find most of them, because I don't do too many videos that I just upload. I usually just go live. I like, being live and talking to people. Here's another one. Yeah, just D-Ride. If you go to my, when you go to my channel page, if you go up under live and just keep scrolling, I've done a gazillion videos on the illegal migrant crisis. Okay. I hope that all of you have a productive work week. Joey, how you doing? We're leaving now. Hit the like button, Joey. D, okay, yeah, check it out. D, you will see. Joey, we're leaving now, so you're gonna have to do the replay, love. So be safe. I love you all. Hope to see you here either Wednesday or Thursday. This depends on what's going on. We have testing this week. So or if something, something happens big time, I'll jump on any time of the week if something big happens. All right, you know where I'm going now. I'm going to the comment section, and I'll talk to you as long as you are there. Thank you again for spending your very valuable time here at the Rollins Reviews, the YouTube channel.